The Economic Freedom Fighters says it will go to court to challenge Parliament's rules to discipline errant MPs. A second day of a hearing to discipline 16 of the party's MPs has been bogged down by legal challenges. At the same time, the charged MPs again not turning up to the hearings. eNCA's parliamentary reporter, Lindsay Dentlinger, good afternoon to you. Again, lots of legal toing and froing today. What's the upshot?
Jeremy, as you pointed out there, the upshot is that the EFF now planning to go to court, informing Parliament that they will be serving papers on this committee and on Parliament soon to challenge the legal process that is being held in this venue to discipline those MPs. At the centre of their concerns is that they want a retired judge or a legal professional to preside over these proceedings, which the rules don't make provision for. It is the EFF's contention that the process as it is unfolding at present is unfair and it would unfairly prejudice their members. They were, however, allowed today to have their legal representatives speak on their behalf, and I dare say this committee left with a little bit of egg on their face when these legal representatives pointed out 2 points in the correspondence which was the subject of much debate yesterday as to whether or not the EFF had put forward a proper argument as to why they felt that they need legal representation in these proceedings, and their lawyers today pointing out to the committee in various letters to Parliament where they had intimated that they wanted to represent their clients here, and in the end the chairperson of this committee, Philly Mapolani, had to concede that while it might not have come in the format that this committee was expecting, there were overtures made and indications given that the EFF wanted to be legally represented here.
Lindsay, just enlighten us if you would. There are protocols, there are rules, there's also censure if MPs don't show up. What's the reason for them not doing that?
So again, the chairperson of the committee in wanting to find out why they weren't present, the party's Museni Ndlozi, who represents the party on this committee, I should point out he's not one of those charged, playing a bit of a cat and mouse game with this committee, saying how do we know that these MPs are not waiting in a holding room somewhere, and why is it the expectation that they should be here physically present. But the committee was having none of that and put it to their lawyers as to exactly where these MPs are. Are they somewhere in the precinct? Were they waiting for a particular moment to enter this venue, perhaps when the committee acceded to their request to be legally represented? And their lawyer would only say for those MPs to turn up here at these proceedings would be, in their view, to legitimate what they believed is an unfair process which they want challenged, and for that reason they say unless the committee was going to accede to their requests or their demands, those MPs would not be physically present in the venue. And so for a second day they have not appeared, and all indications now that they probably will not appear soon.
So what does that mean? Is the hearing dead in the water?
Well, the legal representatives pointing out to Parliament just before the lunch break that they were officially taking leave of these proceedings. They didn't want to appear to be walking out, but because they don't agree with the way that this process is unfolding, they were leaving and going to launch that legal challenge. But the chairperson of this committee making it clear that they believe that this is a properly constituted committee of Parliament. It has the rights to discipline MPs and to carry on with a process as is unfolding at present. So they don't see that there's anything wrong with the way this committee is constituted, all the processes that it is following, and for that reason, Jeremy, the chairperson of the committee say these hearings will continue with or without the EFF MPs present. There are provisions made in the rules for such proceedings to proceed without them, and it was indeed the case the last time the EFF were disciplined before this committee in 2014, where they walked out and didn't participate, and so we understand that these hearings will continue, and possibly and probably with witnesses to that incident in July 2019.
All right, let's see what happens. eNCA's parliamentary reporter Lindsay Dentlinger, thank you very much indeed. Nudging